Are you planning to visit or move to Tbilisi, Georgia? Today I will give you a local's insight on the best places to live in Tbilisi. Tbilisi is a small city by most standards, yet there is a huge degree of difference between the various districts and neighborhoods. That is why I'm here to provide you with a detailed guide on a Tbilisi neighborhood, helping you decide where to stay in Tbilisi based on your interests, preferences and budget. My name is Lika Tsintsabadze. I'm a business and immigration attorney in Tbilisi, Georgia, and you're watching an exclusive miniseries with Nomad Capitalist. I was born and raised in Tbilisi. Throughout the years of living here, I came to realize that there are 4 favorable neighborhoods in Tbilisi. These are Old Town, Tbilisi and Vera, Vake and Saburtalo. I always recommend trying out a few diverse neighborhoods to see which one suits you best. To me, there are 4 main criteria to choose a place to live. First is safety, second is access to any kind of transport, third is character, and last but not least, facilities. Let's start with Old Town and Vake because these are the most popular and historical areas. The name Old Tbilisi refers to the oldest part of Tbilisi, which covers many districts over both sides of the main river Mtgwari. And Old Town is a fascinating place with different architectural styles and monuments from across the ages. One of the most recognizable landmarks within this area is the Avenu district, where up to 70 Persian-style bath houses were constructed. Now about a dozen baths remain. Historic Betlemi quarter rises above the baths, leading you to viewpoints and series of beautiful churches and historical buildings. The Betlemi Street stairs continue up to Narikala Hill, to the Mother of Georgia statue, the fortress and the National Botanic Garden. Overall, Old Town, aka Kala, is stunning and a great place to explore, but it's not the best area to live in my opinion because it's too touristy and crowded. Accommodation options are very limited and the prices here are the highest in the city. Now, Sololok is considered the oldest residential area in the city. It stretches out to the west of Freedom Square up towards Tbilisi and is easily differentiated from the inner part of Old Tbilisi because of its neat streets. In 19th century, Sololok became a place where the city's wealthiest merchants and businessmen built their European-style mansions. Every facade and entrance in Sololok is a work of art. It is fascinating how trendy Georgian restaurants, bars and coffee shops have taken up residence in these forgotten apartments. Overall, it's both atmospheric and convenient with the metro station at Liberty Square and several supermarkets and malls close by. One downside is that it's still quite touristy and can feel crowded during the summer months. The apartments are very old, and if you decide to buy an apartment there, it will for sure cost a lot and will need a renovation. Now let's talk about Tbilisi and Vera, my personal favorites. Tbilisi itself means Holy Mountain in Georgian and is another large district in central Tbilisi. It starts from Freedom Square and continues northwest along the river with Rustaveli Avenue as its main artery. If you walk up, you'll go through the beautiful narrow streets which lead you to Funicular and Tbilisi Park, which considers being the highest point of Tbilisi. Rustaveli Avenue, known as the main avenue of Tbilisi, is where most of the city's prestigious museums and galleries are located, along with the Parliament, the Georgian Academy of Sciences, the Rustaveli State Academy Theatre, and the Georgian Museum of Fine Arts, and also the Opera Theatre. The streets to the west are relatively quiet, while towards the river, popular attractions such as Orbeliani Square, Atonelli Street, and the Dry Bridge Market gives Lower Tbilisi more character. Rustaveli Avenue is mostly considered a hotspot because it's an avenue where many public protests take place every year. It is known for its governmental, public, cultural and business buildings that are located along the avenue. Because it's so central, Tbilisi can be quite pricey. Now, Vera is a historical residential area on the west bank of the river. It starts from the top of Rustaveli, where the avenue turns into Kostava Street and runs along the river and up the hill. The main point is Philharmonia, Concert Hall, and Vera Park. The inner part of Vera around Melikishvili Street is cafe after cafe, wine bar after wine bar, with many boutique shops, fashion ateliers, bakeries and co-working spaces in between. It culminates with Wine Factory, one of the city's fine dining places. Overall, Vera is quite upmarket and very trendy. Accommodation can be more expensive as a result. The closest metro station is Rustaveli. As for Upper Vera, can be very hard to arrive at due to narrow streets and almost no parking spots. It is on the hills and has a very special character. Lower Vera, the bottom part closer to the avenue, is more convenient for accessing public transport or any kind of transport. Those who are looking for a high-end apartment must look into Vake. There are tons of new building projects. Vake has plenty of restaurants, cafes and luxury hotels. In addition, many Georgian designers and noble families used to live there. The sophisticated neighborhood of Vake is known for its growing cultural scene. During the Soviet era, this residential neighborhood was filled with scientists and politicians. After Georgia gained independence, Vake slowly became the trendiest area in town. The main street is Tsintsabadze Avenue, a newly renovated avenue full of facilities. In Vake, you'll find Park of Vake, a large green space filled with fountains, children's play areas and walking trails. If you keep walking up the mountain, you'll eventually reach Turtle Lake, a small lake high at the top, surrounded by cafes and restaurants and open park. This area doesn't have any metro connections, but buses do move around. This area doesn't have any historical or cultural sites for you to explore. Since this is most of an upscale neighborhood, the prices will be a bit more expensive. Now let's talk about Saburtalo. I personally live in Saburtalo. It's one of the central, largest and city's most easy accessible neighborhoods. Saburtalo is modern, more for business and living, so don't expect to find lots of thriving historical buildings or too many nightlife options and stylish restaurants. Perfect for families, young entrepreneurs, students and outdoor lovers. Also, Hippodrome Park is within walking distance and is being renovated now. There is also a big shopping mall. The new trendy area near Saburtalo is Tbilisi Lake. Families, outdoor enthusiasts and people who have pets will love Tbilisi. Those who appreciate living in a quiet area with the fresher air instead of the crowded city center must check out new projects there. Every neighborhood that I mentioned is 100% safe. You will have a problem with driving and traffic everywhere in center of Tbilisi and even in suburbs, so make sure to get ready for it. Overall, Tbilisi is truly a diverse and welcoming place to live. Generally, the Tbilisi real estate market continues to grow, with the prices of apartments rising quickly. The average prices for buying in the capital Tbilisi are around $900 per square meter, with properties in the center closer average to $1,500. Renting businesses for tourists and Airbnb doing quite well in Old Tbilisi, Vera and Petsminda. As for buying or long-term rent, Vake and Saburtalo are more flexible. If you want to know more about Georgia or if you have questions about other neighborhoods in Tbilisi, please comment down below and I'll be happy to make another video.